Hello, everybody. We are here on another episode of Split Happens, where we talk all things divorce. My name is Kelly. I'm owner of Kate Collections Photography, where I empower women behind my camera.
I'm Jessica Maloney, licensed mental health counselor and business coach for audacious female entrepreneurs.
And I am Donna Rudowitz. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I work with couples to restore their marriage and also work with women post-divorce to bring their lives back to an amazing place.
Oh, God, I love that. I learned that from you, Jess, like to really have like your proclamation for anybody that's listening. If you do out there doing something, know how to say it.
Yes.
And I think you ladies did that beautifully.
Say it strong.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
So it's been a little while. We're back in studio to talk all things. I want to talk about communication, differences between men and women today, right? Whether you're still in your
What
marriage.
differences?
You had recently posted something and it really made me think, right? So whether you're still in your marriage and you're trying to work on it, or you've evacuated the dance floor, everything's settled, and you're now back in the dating pool.
That song.
Communication, right? Like my marriage was a 20-year marriage. I was a kid when I went into it. Now I'm out of it and I am dating somebody, and I'm learning what it is to communicate in a healthy way and proclaim what it is that I want and say it assertively and have a confidence in myself. And, I think everybody should have a counselor post-divorce. I have one, and we talk about that all the time. People are not mind readers. You can't get upset and mad for not getting what you are expecting if you're not communicating. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Donna. Who wants to go first? Donna, can you do me a favor and start off and read what you just posted on your Instagram, your Donna Ray Instagram?
Yes,
go ahead and reiterate that. I also did want to go ahead and mention that this show is sponsored by our amazing sponsor of Balanced Health and Wellness over in Wading River. I was actually over there doing content creation for them today. I started my GHKCU peptide.
Oh, the peptide stack.
Yes. So if you're watching this and you see the glow, you're not imagining it.
You have a natural glow about you.
Thank you, love.
Okay, so here is the quote. Women often talk to connect, and men will often retreat to think. One chases, one withdraws, but both end up wondering why they're lonely in the same relationship.
Jess, let's talk about it.
Well, I like the concept of being lonely in the same relationship for two different reasons, right? Because like the way I see communication, like there's so many levels of it, but it's not just what you say, it's what you hear and how you receive information.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people talk and then they just wait for the next thing, the next opportunity to say their piece, right? But you're not listening or receiving the information. And that's where a lot of stuff gets lost in translation, right? So I'm telling you how I feel. And I'm like, this is how we feel. This is why I feel that way. And this is what you did that made me feel that way. And then the next person was like, well, I feel this way. And this is why I feel this way. And you made me feel that way.
Right.
Like, okay, now everything's out on the table. Did anybody hear anything?
Right. You know what I noticed the first thing? And I just want to read something because I did a whole training on this today. And that is, most men believe if they have the conversation, then the issue should be resolved.
They're so simple.
They sit
put
down.
it away. Like
They
it's
say,
done.
right. They say what needs to be said. We apologize and explain. And then they think, okay, it's handled.
No.
Right. And so when a woman brings up the conversation the same day, the next day, the next month, they think, why are we going backwards?
Well, because the actions backed up the conversation since it,
they're trying to solve a problem.
Exactly. Are we following through with what we talked about in that conversation? Because I feel that men, and this is not a man bashing session, there are probably women out there that do it too. We could talk about it. Even if they do acknowledge that there's an issue, like, are they following through on those changes consistently, or are they just yesing us?
But that's part of like the part of communication where it comes to apologies, right? Like if I call you Blue and you're like, I don't like being called Blue. And I say, okay, I'm sorry, I won't do that again.
Yeah.
And then the next time I see you, I call you Blue.
Right.
And you're like, I told you I didn't like that. Please stop. And
Right.
I'm like, okay, sorry. Or I didn't mean it.
Right.
Or,
And then they say,
I didn't mean it like that. And I keep doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Then I'm not really sorry. Like, what does sorry really mean if you don't actually change the behavior?
Yeah. But I
Right?
think there's also a big difference, right, between how men communicate and how women communicate. So men communicate to fix and women communicate to heal and to be heard.
Yeah.
So they heal on an emotional level, where men are healing on a fix it level. They want to come in, they want to fix it. And this is how men speak to each other. And for those guys out there who are listening, please let us know. Men will go in, they have an issue, they speak, they get it done, it's finished.
Yeah,
they think it's done. They don't understand that women, we didn't even have 2 seconds to process it.
And we've been thinking about it
near finished
for 3 months prior to even bringing it
it's
up.
nowhere near finished. So we're in there to have an understanding. And at least I believe we're in there so they can understand how we are feeling. But they go in, and I see this a lot with the men I work with. There's a lot of what I call mansplaining, a lot of defensiveness.
Sure. Why do men get so defensive, Donna and Jess? Why?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's ego driven, you know, and I know women who get very defensive too. I think it's a natural part of human behavior.
I'm opposite. I'm like, tell me what I did wrong. I want to do better. Like, I'm so opposite of defensive. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm the first to apologize and want to do better. I think that comes down to also being ready for a relationship and being willing to put the work into the relationship, right? Because everything we're talking about right now is work, caring, and energy. And I think there's a lot of people out there who have either tapped out of their marriage and they don't have the energy to invest in even thinking on this level. And I think there's a lot of people, I'm not talking from a personal standpoint, I'm just talking from what I've heard from other people that are in relationships that just don't have the energy. They're not ready. They're not there. This is work. This is an investment. This is energy. This is wanting to do this to make things work, you know?
For, like a lot of the couples that I've worked with, I find that there ends up being this like push pull and like, who's going to give first, right? Like I've been hurt in this way and I feel like I need this first, but then you've been hurt in this way and you feel like you want this, but who's going to give first?
Right. And it's also competing needs.
And which is hard.
And then when couples move away from each other, that's where the fracture happens, right? Gottman says, Dr. Gottman is always talking about how when couples move towards each other and they're able to have those hard conversations. That's where things could work well.
And not being afraid to have the conversations. I think a lot of people suppress their feelings because they're afraid of being wrong in the way that they feel. And I know that I dealt with that post-divorce more so in the beginning, like dabbling in relationships and entering a new relationship that I really cared about, like excusing the way I was feeling or like overthinking if the way I was feeling was right because I was part of a marriage where I didn't communicate for so many years that communicating as an adult in a relationship was so freaking foreign to me.
It is.
That I was like a newborn baby deer, like wet behind the ears, like trying to master this art form.
It also matters like how you were brought up and the types of conversations you had at home or with friends or, you know, like the relationships that you had throughout your life, because those are the things that like teach you how to be in a relationship, how to be with other people. And, you know, there's a lot that needs to happen. Like I like to say that there's a lot of healing that can happen inside of relationships, whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendship. It's the person that you are with and how they respond to you and how you learn, like how you want to communicate and how you want to be communicated with.
Well, I often find too in relationships that there's one person who's committed to wanting to learn, right? Wanting to engage, and then usually the other person is not. Typically.
And you think that's more, it's not
very
usually,
common.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't yet seen two people really healthy want to come to the table. Usually when, at least for the couples that I see in front of me, it is as a result of a distress, a result of an incident that happened. And that's what brings them to the counseling. They'll address it, but it's usually one person is more invested than the other.
I don't even know if it's investment or if it's capacity, especially because I do want to talk to both sides of people who are still in a marriage, potentially saving it, and people who are out of the marriage and now dating. I think it's what each other has the capacity. Like, did you heal enough where you have the capacity to now invest in your new partner, listen to them, hold space for them, make changes for them, be not defensive for them. It's capacity, because some people are out here dating post-divorce in survival mode.
And I thought of something else.
Not healed, not ready.
Yeah. That goes back to all the things that we talked about too when it comes like, you know, working on yourself and loving yourself. There's so much in that.
And the level of, I think that there's a huge difference, as you just said it just really, it hit me. Like I got this, it landed a little bit, was there's compatibility. Because you may be trying to communicate with someone
who doesn't speak your language.
And no matter what you do, you may have many things that you have in common, but there might be deal breakers, right? That you just are not, you're going to say orange, he'll say yellow. She'll say red, you'll say
that
green.
was me with my ex-husband. I'm like,
The
and then I just stopped
compatibility isn't there.
communicating, and there was 0 point in communicating. And I know, Jess, if you feel like speaking on it, we were chatting just prior to how you've experienced similar things that it just, you burn out. And this was me in my marriage. You burn out and you're just like, you know what? Like nothing is worth mentioning, trying or working on because it's literally talking to a wall. And at the end of the day, it was just, we're just different. We're not compatible.
Right. Well, you're learning that if I say something, it's not going to matter anyway. So I might as well reserve my energy. And
like for me, a lot of that was like, I learned to turn inward and like count on me, right? Like nobody's going to save me. Like I'm going to save me.
Hyper independent.
Yeah.
Right. So like, we all know that that's a trauma response, you know, and like, it's something that I developed through my divorce. And, you know, like in subsequent relationships, when I've been met with like, I don't hear you, I don't see you. Not those words, of course, but like you're communicating and you're not feeling like you're being heard. You're not feeling like you're being seen. Okay, you know what? I got this. I'm going to take care of me. But then you're still holding on to this concept that this person that I'm with, that says that they love me, it says that they care about me and they want good things from me, isn't seeing me or hearing me or holding me through this. And now I have to rely on me. And I can, but I just don't want to.
And also, isn't that a little bit of love distortion? If we think, is that really love? Or is it incompatibility?
Well, I think it goes back to, I forget who said it. It might have been me.
Might have been me.
I love when that happens.
I know. I love it.
Somebody said it. One of us.
Really cool, amazing woman said it.
But it's like, you know, like you're speaking and you just feel like it's kind of like going into the void because it's not being received.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, okay, like if that's not working, but everything else is great, then like it's confusing too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It's like, where do we go from here?
Right. Right. Because that's where I think the years tend to go by because you think, okay, maybe we'll address it. Maybe we'll fix it. And then the years just go by and go by and go by.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's really defining like what's worth working on, right? Because nothing's ever going to be 100% perfect. And I think it comes down to like choosing your battles, choosing what's important to make a big deal out of. Yeah. And like right now, I know like navigating a relationship post-divorce, that's a big thing for me is emotional control, you know? But sometimes I think I'm a little too emotionally in control because I was so not emotionally in control in my marriage. And I care so much about like this new relationship and wanting to build this beautiful foundation because there's so many healthy parts about it, you know? So I think it's a matter of like whether it's enough to want to work on it for both partners so passionately, you know? And I think sometimes people take like what they have in front of them for granted, whether it's the marriage and the new relationship. And, you know, I think that's where people fault, you know, they just take it for granted.
What about women, you know, the roles, and I'm not saying this for, well, maybe I am actually traditional, meaning men are the pursuers and, you know, that's
300%. I am old school. I still want to be hunted. I want to be pursued a little harder and I want them to love me a little bit. I won't say more because
we're going to go out there.
More passionate.
I think I am a big believer and I know
I love old school roles.
This is old school. This is new school. But I am a really big believer that the man has to love the woman a bit more. Well, he has to be, you know, head over heels over her because when the relationship gets tough, he's got to be the anchor to hold on.
Go ahead, Jess. Sorry.
I feel like there's so much I want to say about that.
Go for it, girly.
But like, you know, when it comes to the man being the anchor, I feel like there needs to be a lot of emotional intelligence.
Agreed. I agree.
In order to be able to do that.
Otherwise, he's just like this unhinged bamboo. Like
No, I 100% agree with the emotional intelligence and maturity.
In general, I think that being the anchor means being the breadwinner.
Right.
And
there's so much more to it.
Exactly. There's so much more to it.
Yes.
You know,
it's a presence that a man has, and it's a spiritual presence. Right. It's a safety presence because a woman's number one need is safety. She can feel safe in that relationship. Right. She could thrive to be the woman. It doesn't mean that she has to stay home or work. They get to decide what that dynamic looks like. But she's being fed enough and she feels adored and loved. Right. And she feels like, she is the apple of his eye, that she will thrive.
Yes.
Every
and
woman
be
doesn't want
able-
to feel that way.
They do. They want
Yeah.
them. They want right. You want to
That's
be the apple of
definition
their
of a
eye.
wife that I
100%.
think we need to normalize.
Again.
I agree.
Because
You
we've
know?
gone a little off. The
Let's do a
other
Martha
ends.
Stewart
Yeah.
relationship. Well, you know how Martha Stewart, she just
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
just came out with a whole new life
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
need to do we need to do a relationship book.
Well, this whole entire podcast could already
I
be a
know.
book. I'm just
But-
saying.
But I really love that because
Yeah.
I feel like, the wife has become
Yeah.
like the woman in the kitchen taking care of the kids. And like,
No.
no, I want the
No.
wife to be,
who she needs to be.
I want to be
whether she's
soft
home or working,
and-
doesn't
Right.
matter.
either way, like you said, the apple of his eye and like somebody that he treasures and
Yes.
cares
Yep.
about deeply. And
Yeah.
like
Yes.
she takes care of her stuff and
Yep.
he takes care of his stuff. And then
doesn't
when they
mean you're
come
being
together,
taken care of, right?
Yeah.
I
and,
will.
like,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No. Yeah. Sorry. We all get so excited to say what we need to
I
say.
know.
Yeah. So like I'm always on like these like Facebook groups and there's these women and it's so apparent like the guy is just like not putting in the work. And like my famous line is, if he wanted to, he would. And I totally believe that as far as like men go. But I also think there's a fine line between believing if he wanted to, he would, and also communicating what it is that your expectations are for your marriage or are for your new relationship or are for courting during dating. Because you can't completely depend on if he wanted to, he would, if you're not
Yeah.
communicating what it is that you
Yeah.
need. What is
Right.
it that you want? What is it that
What-
you want?
Right.
You
I
know?
think that that's so important, especially like early in a relationship, like
Mhm.
whether you've healed from your past one or whatever
Yeah.
stage
Yeah.
you're in. I have one of the clients that I work with in my mental health business.
Mhm.
When she started dating her new
Mhm.
boyfriend, she was coming out of a really challenging relationship
Mhm.
and speaking her needs was
Yeah.
something that she was very anxious about.
Yeah.
Same.
And she took the leap of faith and she started like the littlest things.
Yeah.
If it bothers you,
She
or
was
if
like
it
a dog
annoys
on a
you-
bone.
no,
Yeah.
she wasn't. She wasn't. She was just kind of like, hey, like I didn't like that. Like that didn't rub me the right. She was
Ooh, I
very
love
just
that.
real about it.
We gotta
and now she's getting married.
and let's think about it from a
Yay.
man's side, right? So, and I'm again, this is not right or wrong, it just is. But here's a guy, he dates. She's showing up in, Spanx, and you're not Spanx. She's showing up in like really
I was
nice.
like, well, she
not
should have put
Spanx.
something
No.
over that.
No. She's showing up.
She's all tight
I was gonna
together.
say- I was going to say, what was I
Don't
gonna
show
say?
up to a
Like
date in
thong
Spanx,
underwear, right? She's
girls.
not yet to the bikini or so. Like she's
Sure.
wearing the nice underwear, the
Sure.
nice bras. She's
Yeah.
getting dressed
Right.
nice. Her hair's done.
Sure.
Her makeup's done.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
Uh-huh.
nothing
Takes a lot of
wrong.
time,
You know what
energy, and money.
Wherever,
Right.
whatever he wants to do, she's like, absolutely, I'm in, right? And
Yeah.
not, but
Right.
but then months go by or a year goes by, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
there's a whole nother side of her that was not her.
Yeah. No.
at all,
No.
Right.
No,
And so
yeah.
I think what we need to do, and this could be men also, men could also be this way.
Yeah,
It's not just about
absolutely.
the woman. It could
Sure.
be both. But I think what's really important is exactly what you said, is show up as you
you are,
And-
but do the
and-
work first, because don't show up as a hot mess. Does
Right.
that make sense? That's
Well,
the message at the
yes,
end of
yeah.
the day.
Yeah, you have to.
everyone.
You have to get your
Yeah.
nervous system.
Sure.
And when I'm just going to clarify, because people may say, "What does it mean by doing the work?"
Sure.
And for me, it means that you're getting into an emotional state of regulation,
You love yourself.
that
You
you
know who
truly
you are.
love yourself. You
Mhm.
know who you are. You're willing to live alone, meaning that I love myself enough that I could have an amazing life without someone. It's not my plan. I would love to
Independent
be with
in all
someone.
ways.
But
that
I
you
want to
feel
build.
right about.
I'm going to
Yeah.
build my own life,
Right.
and I'm going to know that this partner is going to come. But in
Correct.
the meantime, I'm going to have a reverence for this life that God has given me,
I
and I'm
love
going to
that.
live it. And I'm going
Yeah.
to be the mom and the mother and the sister and the employee, whoever I
Yeah.
am, the business owner, to go out and be that salt.
Mm.
That is what I mean by the work. So the work isn't doing something outside of yourself. It actually
Mm.
is doing the work inside of yourself
100%.
to find yourself.
Get yourself a journal.
And not being yes,
journals.
Jess Maloney does have one in case anybody.
I
Do you want to
Pick
shout
it
it
up.
out, Jess?
That's
Jess
the
Maloney.
Breakthrough Self-Guided Empowerment Journal.
Yeah.
I'm getting it on Amazon.
I have a copy. It's on my coffee
I
table.
love journals.
And,
I love that.
Yeah, consistency is an issue for me, but I do
Mhm.
look at it every now and then and fill out a page here
Yep.
and there.
Yep.
But yeah, this was a good one, girls. I like this a lot. Communication, whether
Yep.
it's that you're still in the marriage or you're now in the dating pool. I think the key and what we really anchored into was finding yourself, loving yourself. I think that's the cardinal rule, right? You got to be your best to attract the best. And
Right.
then I think that you'll meet somebody that's on the same playing field with you as far as being emotionally capable of making this the best chapter of your life if you want to either renew your current marriage or find a new relationship.
Yeah. And and guys, this is just one last little bit for them.
Mhm.
Instead of hearing "here we go again," Like
Yeah.
when she wants to talk, oh my
Sure.
gosh, here we go again. Here, what is it that she needs to feel safe? What is
Oh,
it that
I
I'm
love
missing?
that.
Right? What is it that she needs to feel safe? And instead of saying to yourself, oh my gosh, you won't let it go. Like this is something that we go over and over and over again. Try hearing, show me you're still here, because she
Right.
wants to see your consistency. She wants to
Yeah.
see you showing up for her.
And don't be afraid of being disappointed, because if somebody disappoints you because you're being honest with what you want in your marriage or
Yeah.
a new relationship,
Yep.
and they can't meet you there, they've
That
now done
part.
you a favor by letting you know that.
Mhm.
And don't waste time. Find out if
Yep.
you're compatible was also the word of the day.
Compatible is a word
Yeah.
of the day. And you know,
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, you know, and we know pretty early on if someone's
You just
compatible
know.
or not,
You just
but
know.
we tend to override it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And put all of our
You know,
feelings in a
maybe.
draw.
Maybe I'm just going to give it a little
Maybe I'll
more
change.
time.
Maybe I can fix him.
change.
Let's stop
Maybe.
doing that.
Anytime that
Yeah,
you,
no.
I mean, listen, it's different if you're married and you have to, you have children and you want
Sure.
to work through it. So,
Sure.
but I'm talking about for these ladies,
Yeah.
we're single, you're out there, you're
Yep.
doing thing. If that maybe comes up,
Yeah.
just, it's a red flag. Just take a moment and really ask yourself, what am I saying maybe to? And the realistic viewpoint of, is that change really possible? in that
Love it.
person?
Let's stop selling ourselves short. Once again, I do want to go ahead and thank our sponsors over at Balanced Health and Wellness. You can find them over in Wading River, Nita Mitchell and Dr. Matthew Rutman. Jess, can you go ahead and let everybody know our landing page where they can find all of our information?
Absolutely. You can find us at splithappensli.com.
Yay.
Thank you for tuning in. Have an amazing weekend, you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.